Alright, got all coins pretty well squared away. Everything's cataloged and inventoried again, all back in shape. Except for a few that need to be taken care of yet, but those little things waiting for some cases and stuff in the mail. So that'll happen when it happens. But some of it, I'm sure, curious as to why I'm doing so many coin videos here lately. And so I just tell you that I'm sorry I haven't been out. I haven't been able to get out. Just got out of the hospital a couple months ago. Still recuperating from that. What was supposed to have been a in and out surgery ended up to be 3 weeks in ICU. And basically they were supposed to add a little bit of hardware. Ended up taking out all the old hardware, putting in all new, and in the process they nicked my Durham. Now if you don't know what that is, as I didn't, there's a sac that covers your spine, your nerves, keeps everything fluid and keeps a bunch of fluid inside there. But when they cut it, then everything starts leaking out, so they try to fix it. 7 hours later, they didn't fix it. It didn't get fixed. So 5 surgeries later, finally worked out. Now, first thing that come to mind, oh boy, you got a old lawsuit and everything, you know, make all this money. No, I'm not like that. Mistakes happen. That's just the way it is. If any of the staff or any of the doctors were any different than what they did and the way they treated me, then yeah, I might have just gone after them just because. But at our, what we call Doctors West, now I guess it's called Doctors Hospital here in Columbus, and Dr. Flanagan, who was the neurosurgeon who did the initial work, his staff and the hospital staff and everybody couldn't have been nicer, better, treated me better in any way, shape, fashion, or form. It went out of their way. And I'm talking nurses, 2 a.m. going out and buying me something to eat because I just woke up from surgery that I didn't know what was going on at the time. People just helping every which way possible. So, oh yeah, well they didn't want to get sued. No, it wasn't like that. These people they were just great people. Every one of them. Mostly spent a lot of my time, like I say, in the ICU. A couple of days down in the regular room, and have to go back again. But didn't matter what floor I was on, in a 5th floor ICU, wherever it was. Everybody was great. Took very good care of me. So I'm very happy to bless them in any way that I can, and I pray that everything goes well for them, all those people. Not just because they helped me, because they're just good people. Okay, so that's the reason for that. Now, the other part of this is to show some of the things that I've collected over the years. Things like this ornament given to me. Well, now the big plate that was given to me by my mother many years ago, but that small Christmas ornament, which means a lot to me, given to me by a young man and his family that I'm very proud of, to see him grow up as a good godly man and family man, a good husband. Also, one of the first things that I got, which I've shown before, was this plaque made out of pennies given to me by a young lady in my Sunday school class that sweet little sweetheart. I've watched her grow up and get married and have a family of her own. And I keep that. And each one of these things I keep, and I put their name and the date that they gave it to me on it, but I don't want to mention names because I'm not going to take anything away from their blessing. Another young man made this peacock for me, and I just thought that was, he went through all the trouble. He's getting ready to turn 9 years old, and he wanted to put that together for me. This was a young man that I had many, many years ago, and he wanted to give me his card, all grown up now. One of my girls, shown here, is a flower girl at our wedding, and she gave me this coupon book to get breakfast in bed, wash dishes, a free back scratch. Oh, this is a sweetheart. Love her to this day. She doesn't know I kept those things. One of these days I'll have to try to recoup a back scratch. Here I got a couple of poems. These are for my oldest children, my daughter, dated in 2006, and my son wrote me a birthday poem one time. I don't think they'll probably remember that, but I look back at these things every once in a while just to remember them. Not that they're forgettable, but I just remember them as they were. One of my Royal Ranger boys gave me this. I made this with his grandpa. And I just love it. I think it's anything boys put their hands to. I think it's great. Just like these that the boys went. It doesn't seem. I mean, some people will think, "Well, yeah, that's cute." To me, they put their heart and minds into this. I love it. So I keep them out here in my little bat cave to remind me of these things that they've done. And this is just a few things of all the stuff that I keep and I carry. My little pallet wall I built when we first moved here. But another thing that I wanted to share with you is a couple of years ago, one of my boys, Sunday school boys, and one of the boys that grew up with my boys, we used to have a large house down in West Virginia, and every weekend it was full of children. And one of them remembered and listened to some of the stories that I did. Now grown up, and came up here a couple years ago with one of my other boys, and wanted to shoot at my shooting range. So he came up and we got all set up, and he laid this case down and opened it up, and he showed me this. And I said, "Son, why are you showing me something like that? You know how badly I wanted one of these." And he said, "Yeah, I do. I remember you talking about it, and this one's yours." I could barely hold it back. I've always wanted a 1911, and he got me a nice Kimber. Can't beat it. I really enjoy it. I enjoy carrying it. I enjoy shooting it down at my range. And I enjoy the memories of him and him giving it to me, not just because he gave me presents, not because any of these children give me presents, but just remembering and watching them grow up. And back in '72, my first duty station right out of training was 1st Reconnaissance Battalion, Camp Pendleton. And two of the things that everybody always wanted, when whenever we got in a replacement IBS or inflatable boat small or itty bitty ship is what we called them, in the crate there was a kind of like a Swiss Army knife, but it was stainless steel, had US on it, and had these little tools, all the little knot tying, untying tools, cutting and so forth on it. And then, of course, everybody wanted one of those. I never did get one of those, but I'll find some somewhere. The next thing that everybody wanted, and we only got those in recon or the higher battalion levels, got them, and it was sergeants and above. Well, I was a lance corporal in '72 and didn't rate one of these watches. Now this is a knockoff. It's a little Timex that was nice. I picked up for like $10, and it's nice and all, but it doesn't fit. So with one of all the stories, and one of the boys another boy I was talking about, remembered me talking about these watches that I wanted, and he went out and got me the real thing. He found these watches they've been issued since the 60s, and they don't issue them anymore, but it's a standard analog watch. Doesn't have anything special in it, and most amazingly, it fits. Most watches don't. This doesn't even come close. So I'm not upset about this. It's a nice watch. It's okay. But that's outstanding. I hope and believe and pray that all of these children continue to get blessings and give blessings to others as much as they have for me. Now, these memories of these children doing stuff like this is just it means a lot to me, and I really thank you isn't enough. But I had to do this one video to make sure. So, and I pray that anybody watching this and going through it, finishing the video, will be impressed with these children. Know that whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever you live, the children are watching. That's not me. It's nothing that I've done. Nothing that all I've done really is follow my belief in God, and done the best that I can. And these children have grown. Some of them have passed, but they've grown into some fine young men and women, fathers, mothers, husbands and wives, and I'm very proud of every one of them, whether they were my blood or not. To me, they're family. And I give them the blessings. I pray blessings on them of every day of their life. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I had to say that because I wanted to get passed around. I'd like for some of these children who we haven't stayed in touch with, maybe one day they would find us too. Doesn't matter. I'm not asking. Don't send me anything. Other than maybe an email and text, something to keep in touch. That's all I ask. Let me know how you're doing. God bless and Semper Fi.